Welcome to Maine Concerns, where our news team gives you a closer look at the events that happened around Maine this week.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Cindy Campbell. Today we're going to talk about an organization that's providing a valuable service to some of Maine's seniors and those with disabilities. But first, we're all tightening our belts and trying to find ways to save money. And there's an agency that can really help with everything from hiring reputable contractors to buying the right light bulbs. I chatted with Michael Stoddard, Executive Director of Efficiency Maine. So what is Efficiency Maine?
Efficiency Maine is the administrator for all of the energy efficiency programs across the state. We are a quasi-state agency that was established by the legislature in 2010 to use the funds that come from utilities and the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative to promote high-efficiency equipment in homes and businesses and factories all over the state.
And I'm sure it's a big deal everywhere, but that's a big deal in Maine because our heating costs are through the roof. So any money we can save on heating and electricity is a plus.
You're right. The Mainers are very conscious of energy costs because we use a lot of energy. And so anything we can do to cut back on how much we have to consume will help save us in our pocketbooks. And Mainers are quite smart about their purchasing decisions. When they go to buy light bulbs or heating systems or insulate their homes, they know it's smart to get the high efficiency stuff so that you don't have to pay so much over the life of the product.
Right. You mentioned light bulbs. I was amazed. I went to your website and was looking through some of the information you have there. And you actually have a page that talks about which light bulbs are best and which color light bulbs are best for reading. I mean, really some valuable information.
Yeah, that website at efficiencymaine.com is a tremendous resource. And it's got so much information, whether you're a homeowner wondering about appliances or lights, as you mentioned, or thinking about maybe, since so many of us are spending much more time at home these days, we're thinking about our heating system, maybe our cooling. Is it a good time to be thinking about a heat pump maybe, which can give you both heating in the winter and cooling in the summer, or dehumidification? But also businesses and all the commercial spaces have a lot to think about with how they heat and cool their buildings. So anytime people are looking to make those kinds of investments, that website has tons of information about the different kinds of products and how efficient they are and what kind of rebates we might be offering to help promote the high efficiency models.
Wonderful. Now, I know right now you're involved in a project called the Prescriptive Program. Michael, what is the Prescriptive Program?
This is a menu of high-efficiency equipment for what we call commercial buildings, and that's any kind of a business as well as any kind of a municipal building, a school building, a government building, a hospital maybe, any place that's not a home. And this fixed list of equipment has a fixed associated financial incentive with each one. So if you buy Model X, you get $50 off. If you buy Model Y, you get $100 off. And so that's all listed there on the website. And most of these kinds of products are something that a person doesn't go out and buy on their own. Mostly it's their contractor who goes to buy these things. Okay. And the contractors in Maine are quite well informed about the different types of rebates that we offer that are on this list. So they know that if they're going to go buy you 100 light bulbs or 100 light fixtures to change out in your office building, they know that they're going to get $50 off on every one of them. So they package all that together. You don't have to do anything if you're the customer.
Okay.
The customer doesn't even have to know that this list exists. What they should do is just ask, did you remember to check and see if there are any Efficiency Maine rebates available? And then their contractor will take care of the paperwork for them.
Okay. Now, tell me about what you're doing in schools right now. You're changing out lighting in schools?
Yes. So we had a special promotion that started in February, and I think it closed in June for applications. And so we're not taking any more applications. But during that time, we had a special promotion to increase the size of the financial incentives for schools that would replace out their old inefficient lights with new high-efficiency LED light fixtures. And we were able to award just more than 50 different projects in schools all over the state. And those projects are going to keep electricians working, and we're very conscious with the economy the way it is right now, making sure that we're doing what we can to help keep jobs in Maine and keep people employed and busy, and to do it in a safe way. And because the schools have been closed since March, we know that they're mostly empty. And so it's safe for these workers to go in there and make these improvements to the buildings while there's no one in them. It'll also help the taxpayers in all those towns because those lighting bills are paid by the local taxpayers.
Right.
And so if we can cut down on those costs by using less electricity for all that lighting, we save the taxpayers money. So that's great, too. And
awesome.
when we all get schools back going again, whenever that is, it'll be nice to know that the operating costs are lower because we're all going to be on a very tight budget, I suspect, for the next couple of years.
That's great. So if folks want any information about anything to do with heating their home or electricity or anything, they should go to your website.
The website is efficiencymaine.com, and when you get there, you can see it's set up to ask you right away, are you a person who's got questions about things at home, which is one part of the website, or are you a person who's got questions about equipment that you would use at work? And so the at work is another part of the website. So when you get there, look for either the home or the work section and click on that, and that'll get you down the pathway to the different kinds of equipment that is applicable in those different kinds of buildings. We, of course, have some other programs we're pretty excited about that don't always fit into one of those categories, so sometimes those special initiatives will be scrolling across the screen when you get there. Another thing that's really valuable for many customers who are starting out on some kind of a project that you can find on our website is how to find a contractor. Some of us may not have a plumber or an electrician or a weatherization installer that we know, and so we want to find somebody who's nearby. And these locator tools are fantastic. You look on our website for something called Find a Vendor, and type in your zip code and the kind of service you're looking for, and it will generate a list of all the people who have registered with us to have their business listed. So it's almost like a yellow pages for contractors, and lots of people find that very helpful.
Oh, that's wonderful, especially because it's hard to trust the sometimes word of mouth or, oh, you know, my brother-in-law can do that. Better to have someone that you know is reputable.
Yes, that's exactly right, and we have quite a bit of information on these locator tools. So if the vendor or if the contractor has their own website, we have a link to that website. It's got their phone number and their address. If they're registered there, you know that it means they've done a couple of minimum requirements with us. They have signed a code of conduct with us. They've acknowledged that they carry the proper insurance. So there's a couple of things like that you would take some comfort in if you saw it on our list, that those folks have signed up with us and they are in good standing with us to continue to be listed on that website. And then you get a whole list of them you can choose from. We strongly recommend that people try to get price quotes from at least 2 and preferably 3 different vendors and make sure you get a good price on a project. And you'll also get, you can get some good references that way too.
Awesome. So I would think that it would be a good idea for folks, even if they're not maybe right now looking for a contractor or looking to buy an appliance, just to go and familiarize themselves with a website. So when they do need it, they know where to go to find it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of us buy equipment when the old one breaks.
Right.
And when that happens with a heating system or a water heater, it's no fun, and you don't want to wait around to figure out a bunch of things about who sells it and what the different models are. You want a hot shower tomorrow morning before you go off to work, or you want to make sure that the house is heated right when you need it. So you're not going to take a couple of weeks to think about it, and you need to act quickly. So I think you're right that it would be a good idea if folks know that some of their equipment is reaching the end of its normal life. You've had it around for 7-8 years. Do go onto the website and search around a little bit to get some information about the different kinds of high-efficiency new technology that's out there. It's amazing how much new technology comes along every year. When we started these programs, heat pumps were not a strong candidate for a heating system in Maine to get you through the winter. They just didn't perform well in the cold weather 10 years ago. But the advances that they've made in that technology since then are incredible. And these things will make heat very happily, even when it's minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside,
Yeah.
which does not happen very often. So for all the other hours of the year, these heat pumps are just a fantastic heating source, and we're so proud that more than 50,000 of them have been sold in Maine in the last 7 years. So you're really starting to see it go viral almost with popularity. And a similar thing is starting to happen with water heaters that use heat pump technology. They're called a heat pump water heater. And we're seeing Mainers now buy about 10,000 a year of those. So it's really incredible what's happened. I think even the contractors would have told you 5 years ago that they weren't so sure that they would be popular in Maine, but they're really, really popular. And we're very fortunate that that technology has come along because it provides exactly what we need
Right.
in this kind of climate. And it does it very, very efficiently at very low cost. So I think you're going to see more and more people moving to that. And interestingly, that's going to be very helpful for Maine to achieve its climate change goals. Everybody's asking, how are we going to keep our quality of life and our level of productivity and keep our economy going and also reduce our greenhouse gases by 80% over the next 3 decades? And people keep coming back to heat pumps. They keep saying, well, the things that we currently use fossil fuels for, we're going to have to shift to something different that's cleaner. And electricity is that cleaner thing that people are going to be able to shift to with things like heat pumps and heat pump water heaters. And it's true with electric vehicles also. So I think Maine is at the front edge of states in the whole country that are shifting over to heat pumps. And I think we're really leading the way.
Find more information at efficiencymaine.com.